stay up out the way, don't get your shit splat. Stop letting this shit slide and get your lick back. And get your lick back. Get your lick back. If a nigga owe you something, ain't no chit chat. Better stay up out the way, don't get your shit splat. Stop letting this shit slide and get your lick back. And get your lick back. I feel like I'm JX.
J-Way.
I'm a perfectionist. Adderall got me restless.
I'm gone.
Run with a wild crew, they get reckless. Young boy, come up off that neck.
Give me
Into
that.
the trends. See a lead, be the band.
Well. I feel like I haven't even really got a chance to fully let the Framber Valdez announcement sink in. I don't even think we've done a press conference of Valdez addressing the media, talking about the signing yet. Scott Harris or anything else. We're on the heels of pitchers and catchers reporting. A lot of the guys are already down there. I know Scooble's already down in Florida. But this one was quite the splash, I must say. Let's rewind back a couple weeks. We know Tarek Skubal has been was in negotiations in the final year of arbitration with the Tigers. We know that there was a separation hold on one second. We know there was a separation in money, quite a significant one, and there were reports that the disparity between the Tigers' price and the Skubal price would affect whether or not we went out and got another pitcher. I took that with a grain of salt, and in the end, they went out and paid Framber Valdez. The next day, we find that the Tigers lost the arbitration hearing. Skubal will be awarded just $32 million. So at this point, we're thinking, okay, exciting that we got a predecessor to Skubal, possibly. Exciting that we have the best 1-2 punch in all of baseball. I think that's all but been confirmed that the WAR that when you combine the two F-WAR amounts, they're the top two combination of pitchers in a pitching staff. So we're thinking we got to be done. Unfortunately, we're not going to get a bat, but we're probably done addressing the pitching staff. We look pretty solid. They say Reese Olson may not start the year, but they said Reese Olson might not be in the starting, may not be able to start opening day, but we still got Troy Anderson, we still got Melton, we still got Kiter Montero, we got some guys that can step in and hold it down while he's out. And then minutes ago, it gets announced that Justin Verlander signs a 1-year, $13 million contract with the Detroit Tigers. And this will likely be his farewell tour. It's been a couple of years since he left Houston, so there has been some opportunities for him to return to Detroit, but for whatever reason, that hasn't happened. Now, as far as Scott Harris is concerned, as far as the Ilitch family is concerned, there's been a lot made about his unwillingness to spend money due to the Skubal situation, also misuse of money, spending $15 million on Alex Cobb, somebody that didn't pitch a single, that didn't throw a single pitch at the major league level this past year. I think you can all but dispel his willingness to spend money because he dropped a major bag on Framber Valdez. He stood 10 toes on the Skubal thing, but when it's all said and done, Skubal got his money, so we'll see how it goes. I think that their willingness to spend the money on Framber Valdez and bring Justin Verlander back lets me know that he will at least make a compelling offer to Skubal. If nothing else, to let him know that he's going to provide some support for him. The starting pitching staff as it stands right now is Tarek Skubal, Framber Valdez, Jack Flaherty, Casey Mize, and Justin Verlander. Now, uh, Casey Mize, for what it's worth, I don't know if for everybody is not a full-on believer in Casey Mize. He was an all-star last year, but you don't have too many off nights as far as Detroit is concerned. Now, Justin Verlander didn't have a great season last year. Let's not kid ourselves. But the second half was a tale of two halves, to say the very least. It's going to be electric this year, bringing him back, and he's going to have an opportunity to win every night. You're not going to have any. There's not going to be any off nights, as far as pitching is concerned. 150 innings. But yeah, I think that if there are any concerns with run support, I think that Illich has earned enough grace to think that he'll go out and address that. But let's not forget, this team was one of the better teams in baseball for 3/4 of the year. They fell apart in September. I can't really speak to what happened, but this team was 80-58. This team was the first team to 50 wins. Like, this team dominated. This team had brought six all-stars. The talent is there, and I think that we're only getting better. And just the simple fact that you're going to have one of the best pitching labs of all of baseball, one of some of the best pitchers in all of baseball. You're going to have a lot of sharp minds going, within that bulb. I mean, within that dugout. Like, just Tarek Skubal being able to break bread with the likes of a Justin Verlander is crazy. And let's not forget about Kenley Jansen and Kyle Finnegan. These are all veteran guys that have been there, done that. They've won big games. Kenley Jansen, formerly played with the Dodgers. I think he won a World Series with the Dodgers, if I'm not mistaken. But you got a nice mix of vets and young players. And yeah. We got here. Which 40 man is getting traded away to make room? I got one name, might be obvious. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but yeah, because somebody's got to go. But if it's a pitcher, it'll probably be Bailey Horn, to be honest. Either that or Bo Brisky. If it's just a miscellaneous player, then yeah, it's probably Sweeney, which is my guess. But yeah, this team is ultra talented. We got some young guys waiting in the wings, and there's a lot to be excited about. The biggest question being the bat, no doubt. The bats, no doubt about it. Oh, Sawyer Gibson Long. Okay, yeah, probably. I don't know if it's by a million, but yeah. He came back. I can't remember if he came back in August or September, but he didn't get a lot of opportunities to get right. After missing a year and a half, we were in the midst of a pennant race. So I don't know. He seems to be a guy that they like, so he may get some opportunities. This Fangraphs hasn't been updated yet. It doesn't have Verlander on there yet, but right on cue, you got SGL at the bottom with 0.4 WAR. Oh, Valdez, Framber's not on here yet either. I don't know who this guy is. That's pretty weird. I think that should be biased. I don't know why that says that there, but yeah. This might be last year's. No, it's 2026. Got It's got Lee on there too. So you got Drew Anderson, Melton, and Montero. All righties are all younger. I'm good with Sweeney or Young too. Yeah, I mean Young. We should be able to get something, if nothing else, cash considerations. But yeah, we have a log jam on the left side of the infield, and I could part with either. But like I said, Young might have some upside. You might be able to get some. You might be able to get something for him. Not so much Sweeney. What is all this? So yeah, man. I mean, I would say the pressure's on the bats, but they're not gonna have to provide too much. I think this takes immense amount of pressure off. The whole obviously the likelihood is that Vierling, Meadows, and Perez will be much more healthy this year. Um, so we'll have they'll get a fair amount of at bats to you know prove that they belong. But you got guys like Kevin McGonigal knocking on that door, um, and his bat to ball skills is pretty much exactly what we need right now. We got a lot of power hitting guys that strike out a ton, and we need some guys that can put the ball in play. But I think this pretty much solidifies that the Tigers are going all in. Obviously, JV is bought into that concept, and there's going to be if there was there was already going to be a buzz around Comerica Park. Um, Now you get to see Justin Verlander pitch every 5 days. We know what the mystique has been with Tarek Skubal, but seeing probably the last you get of Justin Verlander is going to be it's going to have a hype of its own. Now, let's pull up his stats from last year, the log of last year, and see if we can uh it's an overview. No, it's not what I want. ERA was sub 4. Um He pitched in 29 games last year, which was the most he's pitched since 2022 when he obviously won the Cy Youngs. He won 18-4 that year. So he pitched a boatload of games last year. I cannot find his day to day. Outings. Let's see if we can do that. Okay. So you look at the second half, which is basically after July. Of course, they don't have earned runs. I don't know. I tried. See, he's old, but still great to have JV back. Yeah, he's 42 years old. He has been around. Scooble, Valdez, Flaherty, Mize, Verlander, not bad. 5-man rotation. If injuries become a problem, we have Joe, Olson, and Melton. Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful thing that Olson is now a reserve type guy. Because he was probably the second best pitcher. I mean, Mize had a ton of wins last year, but I would venture to say that Olson was probably the better overall pitcher. Yeah, Joe will be back. We don't have to rush him in the least bit. I mean, and you didn't even mention Montero. Not not knocking you, but I mean, Montero has been very, very solid for us. So the pitching staff and all that trickles down when you have guys that are able to start and they trickle down into the middle relief. That makes us stronger in that regards. Our back end, the back half is what it is. Three guys that had 20 plus saves last year. Very rare that you get a combination like that in the back end of a bullpen all at the same time. Let's go to the depth chart. Oh boy. Oh, there it is. All right. So we already got an update here. You got JV in the 4, and you got the All-Star from last year, Casey Mize at the 5. Jack Flaherty getting a lot of respect. But yeah, that top end, that is a 10, what is that? 9.9 WAR from your top two. What was JV? JV was 1.7. So yeah, here's your back end right here. You got Bo Brisky, Drew Anderson, and then of course Olson and Jackson Jobe are both on the IL. And don't sleep on Herder and Hannafy. Those guys had strong years. Holton as well. Triple H right there. That's a group right there. Triple H. Kiter Montero is good, but with all these moves, him being a starter is probably. Oh yeah, no, that's over with. That's over with. But he's a depth guy. Probably won't get a chance. We probably won't have to worry about seeing him pitch very much as a starter. I'm not mad at him in middle relief. He'll probably start the year in AAA though. This signing comes at a great time because we don't have a lot of young pitching in the minors. We need to find a way to trade for that or draft ASAP because we don't really have any pitching prospects. We did protect one guy in the Rule 5, and then I think Andrew Miller is his name. Well, yeah, Andrew Miller is the guy's name, and then we also have another guy who I think is in AAA. But other than that, we do not have a lot of young prospects. MSU Detroit fan, if you are over on Bleachers to Speakers, man, subscribe to Corner to Copa. We're simulcasting over there, and that's where we'll be doing the majority of the Tigers coverage. Trading Jung, that's what I've been saying. You already got Hyu Lee, you got Max Anderson, you got McGonigal, you got did I say Hyu Lee already? We got a lot of guys that can play third base. Obviously, Gleyber Torres will be gone after next year, more than likely. So that does open up another infield spot, but I don't know. I don't know what to make of Young. We'll see what he does in spring training. Kevin McGonigal coming in probably will end Young chances, and there's still Hyu Lee, who should be absolutely. Baseball American did a great deep dive on Tigers farm system that dropped it. Yep. Oh, wow. Yeah. Definitely checked it out. He said also at least this season Cole is playing third. You're right. And I forgot about that. Cole playing third until Gleyber leaves. Yeah. So I guess the alternative could certainly be Keith moving back to second, and then keep moving back to second when Gleyber leaves, and then I don't know. I guess you could put McGonigal at third. Nothing on Parker, but we should trade Meadows and put Baez at center field and play McGonigal in shortstop. That is a possibility. If Meadows struggles, you're likely going to see some type of variation of that, along with Vierling being mixed into that too. Although I don't know if Baez did great, but I don't know if I want him out there every day in center field. But that also, like I said, You mix in Bierling there. You mix in Perez as well. It's all going to come down. It's all going to come down to how quickly they want to progress McGonigal along. If they want him to start day one, they will make room. They'll figure it out. Trey Bierling, yeah, I said that last year. They like him though. When Clark is ready, yeah, and yeah, that's another thing. Clark hasn't even hit AAA yet. I don't see any reason to rush him along. But if he out the gate is tearing the cover off the ball, that clock is going to start. But just watch the interviews when AJ talks about Parker Meadows. That's just one of those guys. That's just one of his guys. What else can we look up here? Let's look at the key outings for Justin Verlander. He won 6 innings, 2 runs against the Rockies. Woo, the Rockies. 10 strikeouts over 5 innings versus the Orioles. Oldest pitcher with 10 Ks since 2008. He hit 98 on the gun in August. And yeah, 152 innings for a 42-year-old man. Not bad. Whoops. When it comes to prospects coming up, I see Vierling and Meadows as the guys at the most risk of going away towards at least finishing the season. Yeah, I mean, Glaber. I don't see any reason why Glaber isn't an all-star again. Baseball America has Max Clark making his debut this year ahead of a McGonigal. Whoa. How's that for spicy? Yeah, that's super spicy. That just goes to show you how little belief they have in Parker Meadows more than anything. Because yeah, that's pretty bold. It's pretty bold. Yeah, that's real bold. I was kind of just listening with background noise. So yes, sir, Troy, we got JV back. But I missed that part about Max Clark making his debut first. Yeah, I don't see that, but they're the professionals. I think that the curve, as far as the learning curve right now, McGonigal is ahead of schedule, and he doesn't have a whole lot in front of him right now. He's got Zach McKinstry ahead of him, but which I guess maybe is more formidable than Parker Meadows. Jake Rogers is safe as of right now. I don't see Briseño or Theon Lorenzo making a push to the Tigers. Jake just got to worry about being cut what we did with Haas. Yeah, I mean, they even gave Haas most of the year. The only difference now is that Haas didn't play in any playoff teams. This team is a playoff team, so there's no dead weight. And don't forget about his name escapes me right now. But he's a catcher / first baseman that had an amazing year last year. Not really a defensive catcher, more of a bat. The bat's definitely going to have to play, but he had a really good year last year. He's going to perform better in the D. Oh yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it's going to be electric. What's the guy's name that I'm thinking of? Oh man, how do I forget his name? Eduardo Valencia. Let's pull up Eduardo Valencia for ish and giggles. So this guy started the year in Double-A, finished the year in AAA, almost had 100 RBIs. Now, you know how many fewer games they play in the minor leagues. It's pretty crazy for him to get to that mark. But yeah, 941 OPS, 382 on base percentage. He takes his walks, hits for average, hit for a ton of power. I cannot wait to see this guy hit in spring training. To see this guy hit in spring training. You're probably no. I'm thinking of Briseño. This guy right here. I'm thinking of Valencia. Briseño had a solid year, but even then, um, it didn't compare to Briseño. I mean, it didn't compare. Yeah, it didn't compare to Valencia. Josue is the guy they moved with McGonigal and Clark. Yeah, no. I know who Briseño is. Um, yeah, triple crown in the Arizona Fall League. Catcher, first baseman. Um, I think you make Baez your third baseman, safety net, and split with Zach. McGonigal can learn second base too. Yeah. I think second base, for as good as McGonigal actually looks at shortstop, I think the second base position would be an easy transition for him. Because they do have doubts whether his range, because he's not a super athletic guy. He's 5'9", 180, not a big strong guy, but I think that the transition to second base will be seamless. And yeah, he's going to be an everyday player for certain in 2027, but he's going to get his cuts in 2026 as well. He says can learn second base and maybe some reps at shortstop. He's projected plus defender, second base average. Cut Sweeney. Yes, Sweeney. I mean, I don't know if it's possible to sign him to a minor league deal, but and I honestly think that he could go sign somewhere else and possibly latch on. But with this current team right now, you can't have a guy that's just, you can't have that dead weight on a team like this. Appreciate what he did in 2024 when he stepped in as the everyday shortstop when Javi was hurt. He made an amazing catch. It was either in the playoff. I think it was in the playoffs that he made that catch. But at this point in time, he's just holding up. Him and Young are just taking up space, and it just doesn't make sense. But yeah, that's Eduardo Valencia. As you can see, he's another catching prospect. Bat first, gonna have to hit, in order to see some time. You probably won't see him unless there's some injuries or some drastic trades or anything. But you'll probably see him a lot playing first. It's gonna be fun. You're gonna see Lorenzo, you're gonna see Briseño, you're gonna see Rogers a little bit, you're gonna see Dingler a little bit, but you're also gonna see guys like this guy right here, Eduardo Valencia. 26 years old, kind of came out of nowhere. Didn't really play a lot early on. Only played 62 games in 2024, and I don't think he was injured. Matter of fact, in 2024, he was still in rookie ball at the age of probably 24 then, playing rookie ball. So he emerged out of nowhere, but he's made a name for himself. He forced them to protect him in the Rule 5 draft. He would have been probably the first guy taken by the Rockies. And actually, one of the Tigers pitchers was selected by the Rockies in the Rule 5 draft. But damn, it's been 30 minutes. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Everybody, I don't know who is where, but if you are subscribed to Bleachers to Speakers and are a fan of baseball, subscribe to Corner to Copa, because that's where we will be doing the vast majority of the baseball coverage. There's no doubt we are going all in. Yeah, no doubt about it. And maybe it's the young guys that pick up the slack that we had offensively. It would have been nice to bring in another veteran bat to shore things up, but maybe Kerry Carpenter hits more versus lefties. Maybe Max Anderson's that guy. Maybe Eduardo, Valencia is that guy. Maybe Theron Lorenzo has a turnaround year. I mean, at this point, all these young guys that are being protected to the 40-man roster, that means that we feel that you can be on the major league roster when it's all said and done. So they're all going to get opportunities at some point. He said, Troy said, this will be the year we actually make a deal for a bat at the deadline. Absolutely. Why would you allow yourself to fall short? You've decided to spend all this money. Trade deadline better not be a slew of sevens or any. No, I can't see it. There'd have to be so many injuries at this point. We're way deeper. And I'm going to say, I'm going to leave this concept alone. I've reiterated it. Last year in our starting lineup, we had guys like Manuel Margot and Ryan Kryler. Who else? Manuel Margot, Ryan Kryler. We're only 2 years removed from having guys like Gio Urshela and Mark Canha. And, we had some pretty, you want to talk about journeymen. Gio Urshela and Mark Canha are the embodiment of that. Now we have solidified core members of our team that will be starting. And I'm excited to see, I'm excited to see a healthy Matt Vierling. He was one of the fan favorites 2 years ago. He was a 3-WAR player, if I'm not mistaken. He had a great year and a much improved year, and he looked like he was about to get back to form before he got injured again. Now, if he lands back on the IL again, I think it's time to just scrap the whole situation. Maybe his body is just failing him at this point. He's a little bit older. I think he's like 28. So, but I think we're deeper, and I think that this is a similar philosophy to where Seattle was, where they went from just wanting to compete and be around to being a legitimate World Series contender. So even an average lineup will put us as a top team because we have the best pitching in the league. I agree. He said, oh man, that's the other one. Tommy Kahnle and Mike Brebbia, I think his name was. I'm genuinely okay right up to a opening day right now. Yeah. This is exciting. There hasn't been this much excitement and this much potential going into a season since Cabrera was in his prime. I'm willing to say that. And maybe Riley Green cares about striking out this year. Go figure. Maybe he turns into a contact hitter. Maybe he lays down a bunt. All right, let's not get carried away. I didn't put one ad break in this whole show, but that's all right. So yeah, a lot going on, a lot to be excited about. All right, I'm getting up out of here. Oh, one more comment. Early trade target. No, come on, coach. Nah, Cincinnati would be pissed. The fan base would be pissed. But it does say a lot that we brought back JV, spent all that money on Framber Valdez. They did not want to bring Suarez back to Detroit. That's for certain. Because that money was there. How much did he get paid? I think it was like 1 year, 13. Let's see. Wow, those numbers are just insane. Contract. $15 million, which is what we paid Verlander. $13 million to Verlander, but same thing. It's all right. I'm about to get up out of here. I'll let y'all later.
Get your lick back. If a nigga owe you something, ain't no chit chat. Better stay up out the way, don't get your shit splat. Stop letting